Yo. Welcome into the ChrisBeCappinn show, man. Today is the 9th of January, and there are tons of NBA action on the board for today. We'll get into a few of the games. I'll talk about the top four that I want to go through, and then I'll give you guys some thoughts on the rest of them as well. We'll go through them as well. As far as a recap for yesterday, really nothing. I told you guys I had Chicago was Miami minus the 6 was the best bet. That game was postponed due to the condensation last night. And then I had a small play on Dallas to cover the 5.5 number. They lose the game outright. Anthony Davis heads to the locker room. It seems like that's a nightly tweet. So unofficially I went 0-1. But officially, we still kind of rocking and rolling, man. I think we talked about some things yesterday on the show that I think most of them were right. We talked about the Charlotte and Indiana under. That was a winner, even with Brandon Miller in the lineup. And then we talked about the Cleveland and Minnesota under. That was a loser. But I also told you guys I liked who was it? Aaron Nesmith over his threes, and he cashed again last night. So hopefully you guys were able to make some money. I kind of stayed away from the slate, used that time waiting for the Bulls game just to get into the slate for today. So I do got tons of notes, and I'll try to get through them as quickly as I possibly can. I'm going to go through the comment section real quick, and then we'll get into it. Olivia says, good morning, Chris. We'll go tweeting back. We sent each other messages last night. He says, Chris, condensation over, he says 5 for the win, over 0.5 for the win, just when the NBA couldn't be more jankier. What's up, Mario? He says, I'm 2-0 on the Pacers games here in the chat. Yeah, I talked about the 5th and 7 nights spot for Charlotte last night. And just heartbreaking losses back-to-back nights for Charlotte, man. You hate to see it. We're going to talk about this game, Vario. Suns money line. Vario says Knicks beat the Clips, but it was at home. Now they go on the road. You already know the vibes, Vario. You already know the vibes, man. We're going to talk about it. Good morning, Lot. What's up, AOD? Appreciate you for tapping in as well. Good morning, Taylor. Appreciate you for being here as always. Also I know you got some player prop looks for us today. So let's jump into it, man. No further ado. We'll go through Jackson first. Link is in the description, 50% off promo code. If you guys just use the link to sign up. I got some positive feedback yesterday. I'm always asking you guys for feedback on Jackson. A couple players, a couple people said that they, asked Jackson for some sharp looks and got some winners out of, just using Jackson, especially if you're somebody like me that's just like constantly back and forth and doing so many different things. Jackson can serve you right, and it's been on a little bit of a hot streak. Yesterday wasn't a hot streak though. Charlotte minus 3.5 was the play for Jackson yesterday, and it lost. And Miami and Chicago under the 240.5 was a void, of course, because that game didn't happen. So today I asked Jackson the same prompt, didn't want to switch it up. I asked Jackson for the best spread bet in the NBA. Jackson likes the New York Knickerbockers minus the 1.5. It says that they travel to Phoenix. The Knicks are 24-13. They travel to Phoenix at 22-15. In a matchup where efficiency metrics suggest the Knicks are undervalued as a short road favorite, while Phoenix has been steady at home, the Knicks' offensive ceiling and specific tactical advantages create a significant mismatch here. So efficiency differential, the Knicks currently boast a 4th ranked offensive rating in the NBA at 120.4, driven by the elite shot making and a relentless attack from the perimeter. They are particularly dangerous from the corners, ranking 1st in corner 3-point frequency at 13.1 and 2nd in corner 3-point accuracy at 44.5. This is a nightmare for a Suns defense that, while ranked 9th overall at 112.5, often struggles to rotate to the corner with pressure when pressured by elite isolation scorers like Jalen Brunson. So there's matchup analysis and news here. I'm not going to read all of it, but it says the Knicks enter the game having recently snapped a 4-game losing skid with a convincing 123-111 win over the Clippers. News reports indicate that the integration of Karl-Anthony Towns and Mikal Bridges create a spacing monster that Phoenix will find difficult to contain. The Suns rely heavily on Devin Booker to initiate offense, but the Knicks perimeter defense, led by OG Anunoby and Mikal Bridges, is specifically designed to neutralize high usage guards. Furthermore, blah, 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 blah. I'm not reading all that. But if you guys are interested, check it out. The next look is on the New Orleans Pelicans and the Washington Wizards under the 242.5. So it says, while the Wizards are known as a high pace defensively challenged style of play. That's a very nice way of putting it. This total of 242.5 is set significantly too high given the current offensive struggles of the New Orleans Pelicans. So the Wizards are 10-26. They play at the seventh fastest pace in the league at 102.15. But they're 27th in their offensive rating at 110. The Pelicans, 8-31, are even more challenged, ranking 26th in their offensive rating, 111.2, and 28th in effective field goal percentage at 52.1. For a game to clear 242.5 points, you generally need at least one elite offensive unit. Here, we have two of the bottom five. Matchup analysis. The primary driver for the under is the Pelicans' shot profile. New Orleans ranks number 1 in the NBA in shot frequency at the rim at 43.3, but they are 27th in finishing at the rim, 62.7. They lack the perimeter shooting to punish the Washington Wizards that are 29th ranked defense. And the Pelicans sit at 29th in three-point percentage at 33.9%. News from the Pelicans camp highlight a stagnant half-court offense that has failed to clear 110 points in several recent outings. I'm not going to continue reading here, but there is just a tad bit more information here. And Jackson even gave me an extra bet too, and I'm definitely not reading through that. But if you guys are interested, the link is in the description for all your sports bet needs outside of NBA. Check out Jackson. Let's go to that first game. So we got the Pelicans and the Wizards. Line 2.5, total 242. It looks like it opened at 239.5, so it has been bet up a little bit. If I get to my notes real quick, I just want to make sure I have injury report up and accurate. It looks like I wrote down last night that Herb Jones is doubtful. Trey Murphy is questionable. Both of those players missed the last game against Atlanta as well. Jose Alvarado is out. Sadiq Bey is out. DeJounte Murray, of course, is out. So on the Washington Wizards side of things, first game playing without CJ McCollum, of course. I don't think that Trae Young is going to be in for this game. He's listed as doubtful. We'll see if he actually plays. Cam Whitmore is out, and they have everybody else available. So this one's pretty simple for me, right? I look at the Pelicans. Somebody said this in the comments the other day, and I absolutely agree with it. They said if the Pelicans don't have Herb Jones, who's listed as doubtful, you really don't want to play against them because you really don't want to play the Pelicans. This team is they've had Herb in and out of the lineup, and in the games that they've been without him, they've really, really struggled. They're just 2-8 against the spread in their last 10 games. They've lost 9 in a row. Offensively, they continue to struggle, like Jackson said. I wrote in my notes that they'd only scored 110 points in one of their last 5 games. For the Wizards, they've actually won 3 of their last 4. They covered 3 of their last 5 as well. It is 3rd and 4 for both teams. Washington has been at home a lot more recently, though, and they've had a lot less travel than the Pelicans have. Just based on their recent schedule. So there's no way I'm laying points with the Pelicans here. We'll see if Trey Murphy plays. If Trey Murphy plays, you will get a little bit of a better number. But I think the Wizards can get the job done, man. They've been winning games. They've been covering spreads and, probably got some good energy around them right now. From a player prop perspective, I did look into Kayshawn George. Like his assist prop is at 4.5. That intrigues me a lot because he is the guy on the team over the last 10 games that averages the most potential assists outside of CJ McCollum at 8.9. Kayshawn George averages 8 potential assists. I think, with 31 minutes gone, he may get a boost in minutes, but he has been playing 31 minutes over the last 10 games. So his assist prop at 4.5, I think is something that we can get a buy low spot on right now. We know that the Pelicans give up the second most assists in the NBA, blah, 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 blah. They play at a super fast pace. I'm not going to go through all that, but I like the Kayshawn George look. The other one that intrigued me a lot was Alex Sarr over his 19.5 points. I haven't played either one of these yet. I think it's, you want to wait. I didn't see the official news on Trae Young. So looking at Sarr gets a really, really good matchup. And then I'll go to the other side of the ball as well. Sarr's points prop is at 19.5 on most books. He's been bet up from 18.5, but Sarr gets a great matchup. This is a guy that gets, a lot of his points right at the rim. He gets 71% of his points within 10 feet of the rim. And the Charlotte Hornets, of course. I'm sorry, the New Orleans Pelicans are terrible defensively. Derek Queen is not a great defensive center. 24th is what they rank as far as points allowed via 10 feet or less. He also gets 21% of his points via catch and shoot. And, the Pelicans are also bottom 5 in that shot zone as well. So I looked at Sarr, didn't play him yet. I just kind of want to see what happens with Trae Young. I haven't been able to find anything yet. But yeah, they give up a ton of points in the paint. They give up a ton of points, via above the break 3. And I think that Sarr can get busy, and I think Kayshawn George should be able to get the assist. On the other side of things, look no farther than Zion, right? I think Zion is in a primetime spot here, listed at 25.5 points. He has gone under in 3 straight games, but he gets a really, really good matchup. This Washington Wizards team gives up the 6th most points in the paint. The second worst defensive rated team. They give a bunch of points in the restricted area, where Zion, of course, gets 95% of his points, less than 10 feet of rim, and the Washington Wizards are 28th in points allowed there. So I do think that Zion is in a really good spot as well. 25.5 is a lot. The Wizards also foul a lot. Zion gets 21% of his points at the free throw line. The Wizards are bottom 5 in defending, as far as like fouling as well. So Zion should have a really good matchup in this spot, but I like the other 2 player props on the Washington Wizards side of things as well. I would wait on the Zion news, because if Trey Murphy gets ruled in, that could be a spot where Zion points come down a little bit. So that's my thought process on this game. All right, I'm gonna go through the comments really, really quickly, and then we'll keep it moving. And I don't even see comments here. I think everybody's asleep, and that's fine. I'm up. What's up, Brian? He says, good morning, Chris. Good morning, Algina. She says, good morning, Chris in chat. Let's find some winners today. I'm not sure, Vario. I think we got to wait on the trade news. This 4.5 for Keyshawn George is almost indicating that he will, but I see, trade listed as doubtful right now. I'm not sure. Let's see. All right. No thoughts here. Let's keep pushing. Next game up is the Magic and the 76ers. I bet this one. So injury report here. Let's double check it. I saw B listed as questionable yesterday, and Jalen Suggs listed as out. Let me just double check. Yeah. Richardson is also listed as questionable. Jace Richardson is listed as questionable for Orlando. Mo and Franz continue to be out, but they are expected to return soon. They just won't be available in this game. So Philly actually had nobody on the injury report in that last game, because Kelly Oubre Jr. came back, Trent Wofford was back, and Justin B listed as questionable in this game. I bet Philly here. I bet them last night on the money line, -120 on DraftKings. I don't think that number is still available, because when the spread was 1.5 last night, it did move up to it looks like 2.5 on most books, but I'll get you guys the best money line play right now. And while I do that, while this is loading, I'll tell you guys. Actually, it's done loading. So it looks like -1. Oh, it's moved a lot now. So -136 on FanDuel. It looks like it's the best number. DraftKings moved to -142. So 22 cents of closing line value so far, and we'll see if it continues to move. This Philly team is just absolutely amazing, though. I put it in the write-up yesterday. Philly is 12-3-1 against the spread on the road. That's the best covering team, ATS, on the road so far this season. This is where you make your money with Philly, man. Philly has been really, really good on the road. I'm going to just actually read exactly what I sent to you guys, because I changed it up a little bit in my notes. So here we go. All right. So Embiid is questionable, but I'm playing Philly without knowing his injury status. If he plays, it's a benefit. If he doesn't, I still like Philly in this spot for a few reasons. So Suggs is already out. Without him, Orlando is 7-8 straight up, 6-9 against the spread. In games where they're a dog without Jalen Suggs, they're just 1-4 against the spread as well. Philly is the best ATS team on the road. I just talked about that. They're 12-3-1, 10-6 straight up on the road, and they've covered 6 of their last 10 games. Meanwhile, Orlando sits at just 2-8 against the spread in their last 10 games. They're also playing 3rd and 4th, 4th and 6th, coming off an overtime game with travel where they won the game on the Apollo game winner, which could be a little bit of a letdown spot here. Outside of the trap game that the Philadelphia 76ers lost to the Denver backups, Philly has been playing a lot better recently. They've won 4 of their last 5. They've covered all except the Denver game recently. Orlando has been traveling a ton as well. They're coming off the overtime game in Brooklyn, of course. That was the second leg of a back-to-back. They played 5 of their last 6 games on the East Coast, but not at home in Orlando. The last 5 games for Philly, they've been the better offensive rated team by far, 2nd to 21st. Defensively, they've been about the same, 13th and 14th, even though Philly has been slightly better, I guess you could say. Orlando 17th in efficiency differential while playing against the easiest strength of schedule in the NBA. And Philly is 4th in efficiency differential at about a medium, strength of schedule difficulty. Philly's also coming off a win against the Washington Wizards where, it was a lot less taxing. They won that game pretty easily, where Orlando, really, really struggled coming off the overtime game. So if Embiid is in, that's great. If they're not, I'm cool with that as well. I wanted to get there with Maxey points. He had a really good game against Orlando early this season, and a game that he struggled a lot as well. So he cleared the line. I think he had 40 in one of the games, and then he struggled and went under the line. But 27.5 was used to the over. The only reason I didn't play it is because, I want to see what happens with Joel Embiid. But I think Maxey gets busy in this game. Just based on the way Orlando plays, they don't do a lot of double teaming. I do expect them to try to probably put, Anthony Black on him. And nobody in the league is guarding Tyrese Maxey, in my opinion. You just kind of need an off night. And I just like that Philly has a lot more depth in this spot as well. So top play of the day for me, give me the 76ers. My guy Jay Money would say, I'm eating a Philly cheesesteak today. Vegan, vegan cheese on it, onions, peppers, extra jalapenos, and put a little spinach on it too, because I need it a little bit more healthier. And I want a lemonade, half light ice, and I need a little bit of water in it because most lemonades got like 50 grams of sugar per 8 ounces. So yeah, that's what we got to do, man. And I need some buffalo sauce on it too. That's the way I like my chicken Phillies. But yeah, we rocking with the Philly cheesesteaks today, man. I'm on Philly in this game. Let's see what you guys are thinking here. We'll move over to the next. 76ers money line for Vario. He likes it. I'm on the Sixers, Rick says. 76ers -2. LG says best bet. Let's get it. Parlay J says, yo, let's smack. What's up, Chris in chat? Appreciate you for tapping in. Parlay says he's riding with the Magic, though. Okay. So we're on opposite sides. What's up, J man? Appreciate you for tapping in. LJ says Orlando 0-8 straight up. Last 8 coming off a win. I love to see it, LJ. I love to see it. Hopefully they can go 0-9. Let's see. Parlay says, in my eyes, it's a rivalry game. I'll always take the points in that situation. Okay. J-Man says salt, pepper, ketchup, mayo, fried onions. If you know, you know. No mayo for me, my guy. I don't eat eggs. No dairy for me. But yeah. Definitely a little salt and a little pepper. I had a Philly earlier this week. For sure. I'm not even lying. I had a Philly earlier this week. Let's see. Vaughn says, I know I'm looking at Anthony Black today after 2 bad games in a row. I have to see how Philly defends the position. So I'll give you that information real quick, Vaughn. So you're looking at, you want Anthony Black. Let's look at Mr. Black. So Anthony Black listed at 17.5. Looks like he's juiced to the under right now, -121 to the under, 105 to the over. It is back-to-back bad games against the Washington Wizards, where he had 6 points on 3 for 10 shooting, 0 for 5 from the 3-point line. Brooklyn Nets, 2 for 11 from the field, 1 for 4 from the 3-point line. So you kind of got to ask yourself, is Black running into a little bit of a wall because they're putting so much pressure on him to score the basketball now? Has the line kind of caught up with him? We know without Jalen Suggs, he's been absolute money. If I look into that, he's over in 11 of his 15 games, but back-to-back unders, though. So it is a little bit of alarming. Black is someone that gets about 62% of his points within 10 feet of the rim. Philly is bottom 10 to 21st in that shot zone. He also gets 21% of his points via catch and shoot. Philly is a really good catch and shoot defense. They're top 6 in the NBA in that spot as well. He also gets out and run. 31% of his points via transition. Philly is 22nd in transition defense. So it's about a neutral matchup, but the volume alone, I think, should be able to get him there. His usage rate hasn't really dropped any. He had a 25% usage rate in that last game against the Bulls. I'm sorry, against the Bulls. This is with Jalen, without Jalen. Hold on. Without Jalen Suggs. Okay. So without Jalen Suggs, usage went down to 17% in the last game, 28.6% against the Washington Wizards. So you can kind of make a case for both, I guess. Best of luck, man, whatever you end up doing with Jalen Suggs. Definitely not hot relish. I'm not a relish guy. I'll eat pickles. Not a relish guy at all. Yeah, I just kind of talked about this. All right, let's keep going. Next thing up is just to hit the like button, man. If you have not done so, do me a favor, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, drop the show link in the group chat, tell them the ChrisBeCappinn show is on. They need to be tuned in, and let's keep going. Next game up is the Oklahoma City Thunder and the Grizzlies. Interesting game, which is why I wanted to add it to, the 4-game breakdown here. Tons of other action. I'll get into those soon. All right, make sure I got the injury report right. So for OKC, this line is so short because there's no Isaiah Hartenstein, no Chet Holmgren, which means maybe no rim protection. SGA is also out. So that's why you see a 4. This was at 4.5 yesterday. And the total was at 231.5. It looks like just double check. Looks like the total has come down to 229. And on the Memphis side of things, there's no Ja Morant. Did want to double check. I didn't see anything about about Vince Williams. So Vince Williams is questionable, and then Cedric Howard is listed as questionable as well. John Conchar is doubtful. No Brandon Clark, no Zach Edey, no Ty Jerome, no Scottie Pippen Jr. So this is intriguing, right? Because if you're thinking about this from a historical perspective, this OKC team has absolutely owned Memphis. I don't know how many games they won in a row, but I know it's been at least 10. Like at least 10 games they beat Memphis in a row. So if you're Memphis, you got to be thinking to yourself, man, this got to be an opportunity. Like no Chet, no Isaiah Hartenstein, no SGA. Like a lot of rim protection is lacking. They also don't got big Jalen Williams either. Like this could be the spot where Memphis gets right. OKC hasn't covered any of their last 3 spreads. They went into overtime with the Utah Jazz in their last game, even though they were laying 19 points in that spot as home favorites. And this Memphis team has not been playing great either. They've lost 5 of their last 6. They've gone under in 3 straight. Both teams playing 4th and 6. Memphis has double-digit in-season revenge because they've already lost to OKC this season. And OKC, like I said, they've beaten this Memphis team 10 straight times. One thing I looked at was like last night when I was looking into this game, I wanted to see what OKC, how their offensive and defensive metrics kind of matched up when you subtract the 3 starters off the floor. So without Isaiah Hartenstein, without Chet Holmgren, without SGA, they were still like a +6 in efficiency differential. Now, when I was going through this game last night, I was trying to figure out like what's going wrong with OKC, and really like, yes, their defense has been, a little trash. They gave up 120 something points in their last game, in back-to-back games. Actually, Charlotte just came in and shot the lights out, a couple games ago, scored 120 on them in that game. And then, of course, the Utah Jazz, were able to score the basketball as well. When I look at Memphis, I don't see a team that's really scoring the basketball that well, though. Like, this is a game for me where I kind of feel like OKC, like, the more I think about it, and we'll see what happens when Cedric Howard and Vince Williams gets ruled in or ruled out. But this is a game for me where I kind of feel like OKC comes in here and they say, you know what, like we're going to win this game even though we don't have our guys. Like now, everybody could probably going to want to fade OKC in this spot. And it makes sense because Memphis should be locked in this game. But I kind of think OKC can still win this game. I do think they can cover such a short line. So we'll see what happens with the injury report. Also, Alex Caruso is listed as questionable. You definitely want him in with them being so shorthanded. But we've seen OKC, like we've seen star players get ruled out, a couple of them, and then the team still goes in there and wins. I mean, for OKC, you still got AJ Mitchell, Lou Dort, Jalen Williams, Aaron Wiggins. Like Carlson's not terrible. And, for Memphis, they're not a team that really wants to attack the rim anyway. They like to shoot a bunch of shots from the perimeter, if my mind, serves me correctly. I just want to double check that real quick. But I'm pretty sure Memphis is a team that wants to shoot the ball from the perimeter. And then the other thing is like, okay, he's been struggling to make shots. Their offensive rating is the thing that's down a ton in their last 10 games when I was looking into this yesterday. So I kind of think Memphis can still I kind of think OKC can still win this game, cover this short number on the road, even without 3 of their starters here. But we'll see where the line goes because I definitely want to get, I want to get the best of the number with it being such a short number at that. Real quick before I go through the comments. Also, Memphis really struggling to guard the 3-point line. We've been talking about this a lot lately. Memphis on defense. I don't want Memphis without Zach Edey and John Morant first and foremost. But Memphis on defense, real quick, are just let this load real quick. Yeah, they're giving up the 6th most threes over the last 5 games. They are doing a good job of making sure teams miss. But like I said, offensively, they really, really struggled. I got Memphis at let's see. I didn't write this down last night. I probably should have. 27th in offensive efficiency in their last 5 games. Also giving up the 3rd most points in the last 5 games as well. 122 points, playing at the 4th fastest pace. So yeah, I kind of think I like OKC in this spot. I didn't bet it yet. We'll see what happens with the injury news, but yeah, it's OKC for me here. Let's see what you guys are thinking here. Nothing. Parlay J says Cam Spencer double and rebounds and assists. Cam Spencer's been hooping, and without John Morant, it makes sense. But I'm not betting against OKC's defense right now, even on the road. Quee says OKC early first quarter. J-Man says under 220. Thinks it's a very low scoring game. Okay. Pace won't let me get there with that. just because Memphis plays so fast. Fourth over the full season in pace, fourth over the last 5 games. But I can understand it. I think it's a lot less scoring without SGA. It's also a lot less rim protection, even though, like I said, Memphis is not a team that wants to attack the rim. That's the other thing I meant to look at for you guys. Memphis is actually 25th in rim frequency, 25th in rim accuracy. They're not a team that attacks the rim a lot. That's the full season numbers. Last 2 weeks, they are 24th in rim frequency as well. So they're not a team that wants to like really attack the rim. They can score. They want to get in the paint, but they're not a team that really attacks the rim a lot. So yeah, a little bit of hesitation there. All right, that's that game. One more. Let's go through one more real quick, and then I'll answer questions if you guys have any. Rockets and Blazers, very intriguing game here. So I didn't watch the last one, all like full transparency. I was watching other games and then fell asleep. But I do know that Denny Avdia got a bunch of calls. They said, they asked, I think it was Tari Eason after the game, like what makes it so hard to guard him. And he said, the Zebras, talking about the referees and how Denny Avdia averages the most free throw. Has taken more free throws, even in SGA this season. So, a little bit of a bounce back spot. The layup probably should have went in, but it did not in the last game. And I forgot who tipped it in. That might have been Tari Eason as well. Tipped it in, didn't count at the end of regulation. And, the Portland Trail Blazers are able to still win. We talked about that, right? I told you guys I don't really want to lay points with the Rockets on the road. Their offense just a little too stagnant for me, even before the last game in Portland. And that's what we've seen lately as well. So, thinking about this game, first of all, I think Drew Holiday has been upgraded from out to doubtful. And then Jeremy Grant continues to be out. No Scoot Henderson, Chris Murray, and Matisse Thybulle as well. And then the Houston side of things, still no Alfred Sengun. And that's that's problematic in this spot. So I look at Houston, right? It's 3 straight games now that they've been held under 105 points. It's crazy to think, like a team with KD, a team with, Jabari Smith Jr. and Amin Thompson and Tari Eason, but 3 straight games, they haven't cleared 106 points. And all of it started when Alfred Sengun got hurt against Dallas in the first quarter. They have not scored 105 points since they beat the Brooklyn Nets in Brooklyn. And then I look at, this Portland Trailblazer team. We know that they're good at home as a dog. I'm not sure exactly what the ATS number is because I don't have it in front of me. But this is the spot where they typically cover, getting points at the crib. One thing I wanted to see was when these teams play back-to-back, I looked up road favorites who lost as a previous road favorite, playing the same opponent within a 3-day stretch, so quick revenge, where the total has gotten lower than the previous total. The last game was 222.5, I think it was, and it finished like 204. So in the scenario I just gave you guys, those games are actually 12-3-1 to the under. The road favorites are 11-5, both straight up and against the spread. That's 69%. So I like under in this game. I do think that, yes, the Rockets could potentially bounce back, but I think the game still goes under the total. 220.5, we haven't seen a lot of movement on it, but I think, looking at Houston without Alfred Sengun, I don't want to bet on their offense. Looking at Houston, who I think will play a little bit better defensively, limit important even a little bit more in this spot. I think Denny Avdia gets a lot more attention from Joe Mazzulla and his coaching staff, and not Joe Mazzulla, I'm tripping. From what's my guy's name? Why can't I think of his name? Ime Udoka and his coaching staff in this game. But Houston, I think, still can struggle to score. And Houston also, as a team, if they can dictate pace, it'll be played a lot slower as well. There's not a lot of offensive firepower on this Houston team without Alfred Sengun, in my opinion. So that's my thought process. I'm not sure if Houston will cover the spread, but I do think that the game goes under. And I think Denny struggles in this spot as well. I think he definitely struggles in this spot. So I'm looking at some Denny Avdia unders. I wrote it in my notes, didn't get a chance to really handicap it much. But Denny Avdia unders, he's been absolutely on fire as of late. But I think it's time you fade him in this spot. And the full game to go under is my thought process here. Let's see. No thoughts here. Oh, you guys, I'm just not getting comments. Everybody sleep. Wake up. It's like, no, I'm just kidding. Trey says, appreciate the work. Thanks, Chris. Appreciate you for tapping in. Bro. So those are the 4 games I wanted to go through in significant detail. If you guys have questions about other ones, put them in the chat. I don't even think the chat's working. I feel like nobody's saying anything. but that's cool too. But if you guys have, questions, put them in the chat. One thing I wanted to go through really quickly as well, from a player prop perspective, I didn't really want to talk too much about the game because of the injury report, is this Clippers and Brooklyn game. Kawhi's listed as questionable, and that's humongous, of course, for the injury report, which is why Brooklyn's only laying 2.5, while Clippers only laying 2.5 on the road here. The total, I saw it all the way down from 219 all the way down to 213.5. It is coming back up to 215.5 now. That's a little bit too low for my liking. I know both of these teams play super slow. I think both of them are bottom 3 in pace. Not really the greatest offenses either, but I couldn't quite get there. That was a little bit too low. For the Clippers, it is first leg of a back-to-back. They got Detroit tomorrow, and then for Brooklyn, third straight home game coming off that overtime loss. The thing I like here is, I was looking at this last night. It wasn't widely available. It was Zubac over his 15.5 points. The line has moved to 16.5 now. It was only available on Hard Rock at -125 last night. It is up to 16.5. I think this is the perfect matchup. So matchup is one you would love to see. So Brooklyn is a terrible team as far as defending the restricted area. The second worst, both last 2 weeks and full season. But they do a good job of limiting threes. They're allowing the second fewest threes over the last 2 weeks, consistent with their season numbers of 5th fewest threes allowed as well. Big Zoo gets about 95% of his points, less than 10 feet from the rim, of course, where Brooklyn is the 4th worst in the league. This season, versus teams that present a favorable matchup against the center position, for points, Zubac is over in 5 of his 6 games, averaging 19.7. Kawhi is also listed as questionable. I mentioned that already. If he doesn't play, that's more potential use for Zoo in this spot. And his usage rate over the last 3, he's only been back for 3 games. So his usage rate over those last 3 games have gone 12% against Boston. That was the first game back. Who does a really good job protecting the rim. They don't give up a lot of points at the rim. He only played 21 minutes in that game. Then the second game he had 11.8% usage rate against the Golden State Warriors in 33 minutes. And then a 20% usage rate in that last game at MSG against the Knicks on 31 minutes. So the minutes have continued to go up. I think if Zoo plays 30 minutes in this game, I think he definitely can get 16 points based on matchup. I like the spot for Zoo in this spot. So it is one of the player props that I have on the short list. Let's see. Celtics spread, Lock says. So who Boston play today? Toronto. The reason I didn't talk about that game or highlight it at all is because Scotty Barnes and Ingram are questionable. So I don't know what to do with the spread, Lock. You got to see if they play. I'm guessing they play. Toronto is in a double revenge spot. They lost both games at home to Boston already this season. They've won 3 straight. They've won 5 of their last 6. Getting RJ Barrett back has really, really helped them a lot. But Boston should be looking to bounce back as well. This is a really good team. Boston's 8-2 straight up, 7-3 against the number in their last 10. Coming off the loss, of course, to the Denver Nuggets. It's their 3rd straight home game. They are 8-4, both straight up and against the spread when they're coming off a loss this season. But like I said, Toronto has double revenge. Boston beat them twice already in Toronto. They covered one and they didn't cover the other, but they were laying 9, I think, in that game. So, about where the spread is today. I think if Toronto has everybody, not that I want to fade Boston, but I think it's a spot where I probably look under. Toronto's defense has been really good. They're playing a little slow. Boston, probably, I think, 2nd slowest pace team in the NBA right now. And this is a spot where, for Toronto, you want to pick a 3-point shooter. I'm not sure if it's quickly again, but somebody should be able to knock down a couple threes. Boston doing a really good job protecting the rim right now. So not the greatest matchup for Toronto, a team that struggles to shoot 3-pointers consistently. They're one of the worst 3-point shooting teams in the NBA. All right, so that's that one. Quick thoughts on the Hawks and the Nuggets, Vaughn. Man, this is a tough game. So Aaron Gordon is probable. Jamal Murray is probable. I think on the the Atlanta side of things, of course, no Trae Young. I don't know, man. I just kind of feel like you bet on Jalen Johnson. It's his first game, without all the guys. This is a game I didn't do too much research on. One thing I know off the top of my head, though, is it's Denver first game home off the 7-game road trip. And they won the last 2. Remember, they went into Philly and won. They went into Boston and won. So they did really, really well. And I gave you guys that trend of Denver without Jokic as a road dog. I think there's something like 85% ATS now. Denver plays a lot more defense. It's crazy. You got to watch it. They play a lot more defense when those other reserves come in. I'm talking about the Peyton Watsons and the Najees. Those guys actually play defense. They play so much slower without Jokic as well. So now back home, though, laying points, this line is coming down. It was at 2 yesterday. I see it down to 1.5. You typically want to fade the Nuggets when they're laying points at home. For whatever reason, they've been better all season on the road. In Atlanta, You always want them, one, when they're playing on the road, they play a little bit better, and two, when they're getting points. They have won, I think, back-to-back games, right? I know they smoked the Pelicans in their last spot. I'm just not into laying points with a team first game back home off a 7-game road trip. So that's my thought process. Don't really want Atlanta. It's a super short line. Don't really want Atlanta either. Rick says he took the over in that. That's the Brooklyn game in the Clippers. Okay. Raptors team total under, or you waiting on the injury report? Yeah, I will wait on the injury report a lot, because if they get ruled in, if Brandon Ingram gets ruled in and Scotty Barnes gets ruled in, it'll go up. And if if they get ruled out, I'm cool with waiting. Let's see. Vario says last time I faded the Magic, they hit a fadeaway buzzer beater off the glass. I don't care. I'm fading them again. Let's go Sixers. I'm right there with you. Rhino says been checking the play back the last few. Work been crazy. Appreciate the work, Chris. Appreciate you, Rhino. I do appreciate you guys for sure. J-Man says RJ Barrett hit the head over points and rebounds. Okay. Yeah, RJ's not on the injury report a lot. I didn't see him on the injury report. Fade Nuggets off the long road trip, Vario says. Taylor says Jalen Johnson 9+ assists without Trey. Averages 15.7 potential. Games without Trey versus teams ranked 20th or worse in the league as far as assists allowed, over in 6 of his 10 games. With games with 14 potentials, he's over in 56.6%. I could definitely see that. Should be a fast-paced game, I'm guessing. So here's the thing, right? We know Denver to be a super fast-paced team, right? I think a little bit of that is skewed. Denver's not really that fast-paced of a team, honestly. They're ultra efficient is what Denver is. So on the full season, I'm gonna give you guys the numbers real quick. On the full season, Denver is not that fast. Yeah, on the full season, Denver is 24th in pace. So they're actually the 7th slowest pace team in the NBA. Last 5 games, most of these have been without Jokic. They're 27th in pace. So it's only the Celtics, the Clippers, and probably the Nets maybe playing slower than them. So Denver has not been playing that fast. I think people get it kind of confused because their offensive efficiency is so good. On the full season, even over the last 5 games without Jokic, they're still the number 1 team in offensive efficiency at a 124.5. Last 5 games, it's dropped to 8th. And defensive efficiency is about the same, 119.8, 25th in defensive rating. But I feel like their defense has been better recently. I'm not sure what to do with the spread, though. J-Man says Denver's a machine without Jokic. But they typically favorites in those spots. So we shall see. Jamal Murray also got personal goals. He's trying to make it to the All-Star team. He's trying to do everything. He's trying to do all of it. And he's doing a pretty good job. I haven't really looked into his matchup specifically. Probably put Dyson Daniels on him, I'm guessing. All right, that's going to do it for me today, man. I didn't even get through all the other things I wanted to talk about because I got notes on every game. Real quick, I kind of do want to go through this New York and Philly game, though. So let's go through really quick. So on the Knicks side of things, let's see what the injury report looks like. I don't think I saw anything. So no Josh Hart, of course. Landry Shamet continues to be out. Phoenix will have everybody outside of Jalen Green. So the Knicks, we talked about this last game against the Clippers, right? Not a team you really want to fade too much at home, but on the road, they've been atrocious. This Knicks team is 3-13 against the spread on the road, just 3-7 against the spread in their last 10 games. They beat the Clippers by margin to get that bad taste out of their mouth after losing to Detroit by 1,000. 5th game in 8 nights, though, and they're back on the road. The Phoenix Suns, hold on. The other thing is the Knicks on the road, the 3-13 ATS is the worst covering team in the NBA. So want to make sure I mention that. The Phoenix Suns on the other side, 12-4-1 against the spread at home, 9-1 against the spread in their last 10 games. Best ATS team in the league overall at 70.9%. Meanwhile, like I said, the Knicks, 29.4% is the 3-13 ATS record. So if you're just betting ATS, you want to take the Phoenix Suns. They're coming off a pretty easy win against the Grizzlies as well. The Phoenix Suns are. Last 5 games, Phoenix has been the better offensive team. By far the better defensive team. They're plus 16 in efficiency differential in defense overall, while both teams have played the 3rd and 4th most difficult strength of schedules. Phoenix is 4-3 straight up, 5-2 against the number as a home dog. They're 5-2 to the under as a home dog this season. The Knicks, I looked at them as short road favorites. All of them have come against conference teams, and this is a non-conference opponent, but they're 0-3, both straight up and against the spread as short road favorites of 1 possession or less. They lost to the Bucks in this spot. Lost to the Celtics. I remember being on them against the Celtics, and they lost to the Pistons in this spot. When I looked at the matchup, Phoenix should be able to limit the Knicks offense that likes to take a ton of threes. Phoenix is actually top 5 defensively guarding the 3-point line on the season. They're 3rd in opponent 3-point frequency, 4th in opponent 3-point accuracy over the last 2 weeks of play as well. So Phoenix should be live to win the game. I just would like them to be getting a couple more points in this spot. Like if they were plus 3.5, plus 4, I'd be like, yeah. But when you I think the Knicks can win this game. And it wouldn't surprise me if they did. That's why I stayed off the spread. Now, if Phoenix won it, it wouldn't surprise me either. But like I want Phoenix getting a couple more points in this spot. Like I feel like the books are kind of begging you to take Phoenix in this spot. Just getting a short number on the road here. And I do think the Knicks are the better team, but they have not been playing great recently. It is 5th and 8 nights, and they do stuff. They suck on the road, just 3-13 against the numbers. So I'm off the game, but I wanted to share those notes because that was a lot. Like I think that's a heavy way to kind of handicap the game, man. Those are my thoughts, man. Those are my thoughts. So real quick, as far as recap goes, only thing I bet was Philly. That's my top look of the day. Philly on the money line. We got -120 last night. We'll see how that pans out. Other things that we talked about real quick at the top of the show. I talked about why I like Keyshawn George over his 4.5 assists. We'll wait to see what happens with the trade news. Alex Sarr, if Trae Young plays, Alex Sarr and Trae Young gonna be like Trae Young and Clint Capella, in my opinion. They're gonna run a lot of pick and roll. Sarr gonna be getting a lot of dunks, in my opinion. I think getting Trae Young is gonna be really great for his career. And Zubac over 16.5 points based on the matchup. I just told you guys about that as well. So other things that we talked about: Houston, Portland under. A little bit more work to do on that one. Under 221. It looks like it's the best number. And OKC -4. We'll see what happens with the injury report for Memphis. Toronto, Brooklyn probably under. We'll wait on that news as well. And I think that's it. It's a big slate today, man. I hope you guys found some success betting it. I hope you guys found the show helpful. If so, do me a favor, smash that like button, drop the show link in the group chat, send it to your coworkers, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your boyfriend's girlfriend, everybody. And the resources that I use to handicap the games are all linked in the description as well. If I add anything, I'll send it out to the members a little bit later. Check out Jackson, Outlier, Moneyballer, Outlier, OddsJam, all those things. Link is in the description, man. Y'all enjoy your Friday. As far as tomorrow, programming note, we do play early. Like we have my son's team. I coach, of course, for people that don't know. We do play early tomorrow. We play 8 a.m. game tomorrow. Kind of crazy. So I'm not sure when I'll be able to do a show. It won't be early in the morning though, because I'm not getting up at 5 a.m. to do a show and try to be ready for the game. So I'm not sure when I'm gonna do a show. I'm also going to the UVA game tomorrow. I'm taking my son to the UVA Stanford basketball game tomorrow. So that's at 2:15. Maybe I can come back home and do something in between, but I'm not gonna promise anybody anything, especially Saturdays, weekend. I don't know, I might chill, man. It looks like it's about 7 games tomorrow. So enjoy your weekend, man, especially if I don't see you guys tomorrow. And I'll catch you guys in the next one, man. Y'all be safe, bet responsibly, and enjoy the Friday, enjoy the weekend, man. I'm out.